I had logged in for a fleet, but the FC called in sick, and we were just hanging around slightly bored. Suddenly, militia chat was active. A pilot had encountered a Myrmidon Navy Issue. At first, I was surprised by the fuss about a simple battlecruiser, when I suddenly realized that it was in fact one of the new ones. Only about 2 weeks ago, the Empire Frontier race had introduced the powerful new vessels, and now someone had managed to build the first of the new Galantian Navy battlecruisers. I jumped into my Rifter and headed towards the system. On my way, I started coordinating with my best friend Tian and another young FC, Duvalixon, to form and organize a fleet. Then came the first message. They had lost track of the ship. Lucky as I was, I jumped into the Myrmidon just as I read the message, and the hunt continued. I tackled him on the gate and barely escaped alive after he moved on. My friend Tian and I followed him and made updates while people started assembling. Duvalixon was coordinating the fleet, and Mizaru, who was the first to spot the enemy, was flying her Black Ops battleship Widow. We followed the Myrmidon, and I lost my Rifter in trying to slow him down. Tian continued the hunt, while I went to reship it to a caracal. Then came the second loss. The Myrmidon had docked on a player-owned station. We were very disappointed. When he undocked for a moment, we all undocked, but of course he did not attack. Tian had an idea, and we went through with it. He was flying a caracal as well now, and decided to undock to bait him. Verrutzen, the pilot of the Myrmidon, undocked and actually tackled Tian, starting to destroy his cruiser. A simple call on comms and the fleet undocked. Duvalixon in his Armageddon-class battleship, Mizaru in her Widow, and some other brave pilots. The fight began. Tian died even before most of the fleet was on grid, but he had distracted the Myrmidon long enough for the others to secure tackle. The Myrmidon pilot had a Dracovac, an Abaddon and a Curse with him by now, and we were under heavy fire. This was when Slava turned up. The crazy Russian FC had assembled another fleet and had enough foresight to shoot the support instead of simply jumping on the fancy target. He paid with not being on the final kill now, but without Slava's attack on the Dracovac, we would not have taken this kill. Now Mizaru's battleship was taking a lot of damage. Her tank was weakening and she had a difficult choice to take. She could survive. One cycle of her burst jammer would break all locks and allow her to flee, but breaking the locks would mean the Myrmidon could escape as well. Another sacrifice was made, and the Widow exploded to secure the destruction of our glorious target. I myself was being shot now. My caracal was on the verge of destruction when I initiated the war. I hoped to lose fire and be able to return and apply some DPS again. I ordered my drones to attack as I thought they would continue to shoot when I would leave, and the war came just in the right moment. When I returned, the Dracovac was exploding under Slava's attack, and the Myrmidon pilot was suffering under the combined DPS of our fleet. I heated my guns and hoped for the best. It went down! The sound on comms was incredible. Everyone was screaming and celebrating. but only for a few moments. We focused again and also took down the supporting Abaddon-class battleship. Now the grid was ours. We started to loot. This was a very special moment. Months later, when I would see to the Nixon, we would talk about this evening. We had many good people back then. The sense of accomplishment the fleet shared on that day was incredible. I immediately cut a video from my footage and shared it on YouTube. Within 2 hours, it had reached over 300 people. I decided to give it a try and wrote to CCP, and we even made it into the following community feed. The salvage from the Myrmidon Navy Issue wreck has its place in a container in my home hangar. It looks just like every ordinary scrap metal, but I know where it came from.